Okay, I'm working on a 2011 Dodge Grand Caravan, and the master cylinder had failed, and it had leaked fluid out this end seal into the brake booster, okay, into that hole. And what happened is the diaphragm in the brake booster eventually failed. And so, it's really a complete brake failure. You basically, the symptoms were you had to stand on the brakes to get the vehicle to stop. All happened fairly quickly. I mean, I'm sure the master cylinder had been problematic for a while, but when, the booster failed all at once. What I've done is replace, this is actually a recondition booster, and I installed it in the vehicle and had a problem. That's why I have the whole thing out on the bench here. And I thought this is a good opportunity to show people this pedal assembly, because normally you have to stand on your head to see this. So we have our brake pedal, our gas pedal, and the gas pedal is electronic, with a position sensor cable plugs in here. This assembly is motorized pedal assembly positioner. So if we come around to the side and we look, we see a lead screw, and that's driven by this motor. And there's a switch up, I think it's on the steering column, that allows you to move the pedals closer or further away. Anyway, there's nothing wrong there. The problem was when I put the booster in, the reconditioned booster dimensionally seems to be different. I mean, it's really hard to see on the bench, but this, when I put it all back together, this arm connects up fine. The brake, and the brakes, everything works great, okay? But my brake light was on constantly. So I started to examine, and when you actuate the brake, this arm moves. And when the brake pedal's up, it's supposed to contact the plunger on this switch, which I'll take the switch out and show you. That's a counterclockwise, and out it comes. And you can see the plunger. Now, if you look in through the hole, you can see that I've drilled and tapped that paddle that comes up and actuates the switch. And the idea there is I'm going to thread a plastic screw in that will give me some adjustability and allow me to contact the switch and actuate it with the screw head. Why is it dimensionally different? I don't know. Yeah, I could maybe take it back or buy a new one. But at this point, since the brake system works fine, I thought I would just do this minor modification. And while I had everything out, basically, normally you take out the lower four nuts and to get the booster out, okay? So I can probably show you a couple of them. There's the bottom two. You can see one in through there. You might be able to see the head of a bolt in through there. So those are the four booster nuts. And normally you would just take those out, and this whole assembly would stay on the firewall on the inside. But there's two more up top that you can take out, and then the entire assembly comes out. The only additional thing I had to do other than unhook a couple cable connectors is disconnect the steering column, because it mechanically was kind of in the way. So that's just one bolt, and out it comes. So that's that. So kind of a nice opportunity, like I say, to see this entire assembly out of the car. I hope this helps.